Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. We are standing in the beautiful Port Arthur and we are about to jump on a Tasman boat cruise.
Yeah, not the standard way you would start your adventures in Port Arthur. A lot of people go and check out the historic village, which we will be doing. But yeah, we're gonna go for a bit of a boat cruise, as Jackie said, and go see a bit of the coastline first. So it's supposed to be a pretty spectacular coastline through here, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of it.
Yeah, and we've got a mint day for it too. The sun's actually out, which is nice.
Woohoo! All right, we've just checked in. We're about to get on this bus to go down to the wharf, and then we'll be on the boat. Let's go. Welcome back, Port Arthur. Let's go see it.
Well, we've got off the boat and we're back in Port Arthur.
Yeah, the office where we met them is just behind us, and it ended up being, I don't even know what the time is, but it's about a three hour experience all up. So
yeah, it was really good. Very informative. They made plenty of stops so you could take photos and videos, and there was information at every stop, and they'd stop for dolphins just swimming randomly, so we stopped a couple of times for those. Really nice.
yeah, so we were quite fortunate. We have had really bad weather this week, and the weather deteriorates again tomorrow, but today
It's like the one and only day.
the one day that the weather dropped off, so they were able to do a one-way journey for us, and we did a north to south leg, so they went from Eagle
Hawk Neck?
yeah,
Something.
around south and then around and into Port Arthur. So that was really good because it's just a one-way journey, and yeah, they stopped at all the different points. And it was really calm down the east coast, and it was just after we'd hit the Pillar, is it Pillar Point?
Yeah.
Where the 304 metre high cliff is, highest sea cliffs in all of the southern hemisphere. Once you hit that point and then you turn west and run along the south coast back to Port Arthur, there's only like a 2 metre swell, and that's like pretty much as low as it gets. And mate, it was still pumping on that coast. Yeah, so out on that point, as well as where Tasman Island is, where there's a lighthouse. I did my best to capture it, but it was rough, so like a lot of the footage is probably like this. But yeah, that was really good. So I couldn't imagine living out there when they manned that lighthouse on the island. But yeah, it gave you a good appreciation for how rough and how rugged it is down here. So come and check it out if you're in the area.
Yep.
Well, here we are. We've just arrived at Port Arthur.
Historic site.
Yeah, we've got our tickets for today. So it's $47 at the moment for a base, yeah, adult entry. And then you can add on additional tours if you wish. Included in the standard entry is a walk around their gallery, which we've just done, which is a good intro for the site. And there's also a 20-minute boat cruise, which is part of the tour as well. So otherwise you just walk around the site at your own leisure, and if you so wish you can be at certain particular sites at particular points in the day for complimentary like talks.
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Find your way back home.
So Port Arthur was not only known for the convict history, but 1996 there was a big massacre here in Port Arthur, which ended up ultimately changing gun laws in Australia, and they have a bit of a garden here that is a memorial to what happened.
I still remember when we just wandered around like there was a tourist with a gun and just shot people.
Yeah, I took photos of trains.
And like it was hours and hours. He was just walking around just shooting.
How did no one realise?
Well, some people, a lot of the tourists thought that it was like a reenactment of something, because that was the gun noise that was going off. But yeah, he just, and then that, I think this is the original cafe, and they were all huddled in here on the floor, and he just opened the door and started shooting. Just terrific.
Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. Don't let
Well, we're wrapping up our Port Arthur experience now, and it's a pretty big area to cover in a day.
It's massive. It's 100 acres, and every section of it, it takes up the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of walking in between all the little houses and churches and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so while there are other convict areas around Australia, this is the biggest one, because normally it's just like one building or one precinct, where this is pretty much an entire town that they've kept and restored parts of. Obviously there's famous sections like the prison behind us, and then there's a lot of other ancillary government buildings, churches, bakehouses, parks, grasslands, gardens.
Asylums.
Yeah. Boat huts, boat sheds, shipwright areas, so it's pretty big. So yeah, your ticket does cover 2 days, so if you can't get around to it all in a day, you can do it over 2. But for us, this is going to be enough, because tomorrow it is supposed to be really raining, and it's already started.
It's raining now. So
we're in for some bad weather, so we've enjoyed our time, and I hope you guys have learnt something. I didn't realise that yeah, there was so much history just here, so pretty cool to check out.
definitely put it on your list.
There you go. Alright, well, we'll see you guys in a bit, but for us it's time to get out of the rain and back to the van. Alright, well, we hope you are enjoying the episode so far. Thought we'd do something a little bit different. If you've been following along, you would know that Jackie's parents, Stuart and Katrina, are travelling with us and have been for the last couple of episodes, a few more to come. And even though they're doing it in a van, it's a little bit different to what Jackie and I are doing. Jackie and I own our van, whereas you guys have hired this at the moment. And we're going to have a little bit of chat with these guys. You know, not always owning your gear is necessarily either financially feasible or works out, or you may not want to buy something straight up, especially if you're only doing short trips and you're working a lot. So we thought we'd have a bit of a chat. Hopefully you guys find this interesting. Maybe it'll help you with some of your decisions as you think about doing your own trips. So first up, welcome. It's been good to have you guys on board and travelling with us the last
Great, tagging along.
It's been good. So do you want to tell people, I suppose, what you guys have done in the past camping wise and where you're at presently?
Well, nearly 30 years ago, we had a little Cub Drifter, which was a very basic little van, and we went round Australia in that. And then we got a Goldstream pop top, and we went up to Queensland in that and did a couple of other trips, and they were quite comfortable. They didn't have an ensuite, but we'd mostly stop at camping grounds that had showers and toilets and all that sort of thing. And we wanted the experience of having a van that had some sort of an ensuite. We weren't sure what this little Expander Jayco 2007 model has got the little combined ensuite with the toilet. So we thought we'd give that a try. We weren't sure with the toilet and all the splashing of water and all that sort of thing how it would turn out, but it's turned out quite well.
So you guys have subsequently got rid of the Cub Drifter and the Goldstream, and
many
you don't.
years ago.
Yeah, so you don't have anything like a van at the moment.
No.
So what have you, like, you do weekend trips and stuff mainly at the moment in between
That's right,
work?
yep.
So how have you been doing those weekend trips?
We've got a double swag, and I've got a fridge set up in the back of the Triton, and it works quite well with the battery backup. And we still, again, have the issue of showers and toilets. So that was our main thing, to try a van out down here with an ensuite so we could go off-grid and enjoy a few free campsites.
That is one thing you do have to consider when you come to Tassie, isn't it? That a lot of the national park camping, they like you to have at least a toilet chemi toilet or some description, you can't just go digging holes down here. So
That's right.
bit hard if you're in a swag. I suppose you can carry a toilet, but if you're trying to do car only, trying to pack all these things in,
It's just too much.
bit hard.
Way too much. Yeah.
So if we talk about this caravan that you've got, you, as we've sort of alluded to, you've hired it and you're talking about an ensuite and bits and pieces. What other kind of considerations were you guys had to consider when you were looking at hiring a van?
Well, you've got to look at the towing capacity of your vehicle, your tow ball, hitch, and make sure you've got a multi-combination one so that you can adjust it to the height of the van. You're not sure of the height of the van until you actually pick it up. You've got to know your weights on your towing. I recommend that if you haven't towed before, you do some sort of a course before you tow. I've driven heavy vehicles, so I'm quite familiar with towing, but a caravan is totally different to tow along the roads as opposed to a semi-trailer or a B-double or any of those vehicles. It's quite a different experience.
Especially,
and you have to have mirrors set up too.
Well, especially when it's not your gear, right? And you don't know how it's going to tow.
You don't know how it's going to tow.
Yeah.
I've done a few little adjustments on the way. You've really got to be prepared and have all the extra little bits and pieces in your toolkit as well. Cable ties, bits and pieces of wire, hose fittings. Make sure you've got enough stuff. We've kept our swag with us in case we turned up and there'd been an accident or something with the van and we couldn't hire it. At least we had our swag with us and all our gear in the back of the car, ready to go.
Well, you'd hate to get down here and, as you say, maybe someone's had an accident the hire before, 2 days before you were supposed to pick it up.
That's right. Yeah.
The gentleman that you hired this off said that after this trip, he's selling it, right?
He's thinking about selling it,
Right.
Yeah.
So I know my parents at one stage were hiring their van out on some of these hire sites, and a few people that had come and hired their van said it was so last minute, and they were stressed because the original hire they'd set up had fallen through because of whatever reason. So definitely stuff to consider. So you got to think about bringing your own tow mirrors if the people are not providing it.
Yep.
And a tow hitch, I think, is...
Tow hitch, yeah, I had 2 tow hitches, believe it or not. Yeah. And I ended up going to the original one on the car because the other one just wasn't quite the right height, so...
Vans are... It's amazing how drawbar heights change. So what did we set yours to? Ended up like 480 mil?
480 mil off the ground, yeah.
I think like Jackie in my van is like 650 or something. Like it's... Ours is an off-road, this one's an on-road. Yeah. So yeah, you don't, even though someone may advertise a van as a certain classification, you don't want to be dragging the van down the road.
Nah.
Because that just wrecks your clearance when you're trying to get...
And then when you're turning around, you've got to think about where you turn, because you might have a little culvert in the road, and next thing you'll drag the chains and all the drag, it'll just drag across the road. You've got to be very careful when you're towing a van. Yeah. There's a lot of things to consider when you tow a van.
Awesome. Well, so you sort of just got to think about those things. Have a brake controller probably fitted to the car as well.
Yeah, make sure you've got an electronic brake controller fitted to your vehicle, and make sure it works before you pick up the van. That's the other thing. Yep. Make sure, because you don't know if the auto electrician's wired it up, it mightn't be wired up correctly, so do a little trial. And if you're not comfortable with reversing, if you can borrow someone's box trailer and put it between a couple of witches' hats and just get used to it. A box trailer is usually the hardest to back because they're smaller drawbar, and you'll get the feel of at least something behind you to reverse. It's a great pointer, or go and do one of the courses that is available right throughout Australia with towing. Yeah. As I say, I've been fortunate, I've driven large vehicles all my life, so I haven't had that issue.
Beautiful. Well, hopefully there's a couple of things to consider in terms of preparation for hire. Obviously cost is something to consider, right? Yeah. So like Jackie, in my van, obviously there's tens of thousands of dollars that you can spend on a caravan. Some people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you don't know exactly what you want, or you're not using it that often, sometimes it's easier to hire.
Yeah.
How much did it cost you guys? So you guys are with us for about 2 weeks?
Yeah, so it's with the insurance, it's $125 a day.
Right.
And the other thing you've got to consider is when you come on over on the Spirit of Tasmania, we're only $1,423 with a cabin return.
Because you were car only?
We were car only.
Yeah.
So that's another cost saved with hiring a van over here when you get over here.
Yeah, so Jackie and, well, our costs, Jackie and my cost for coming across to Tassie, return, cabin as well included, was $2,800, almost $2,900. So it's double the cost.
Double the cost, yeah.
So
you get back in what you've hired. Part of your hire is covered in your trip across, which is good.
Yeah.
It's another good way to do it.
Yeah. And not everyone has 6 weeks like we've got to travel around.
Yeah.
2 weeks is definitely a great time to come and see a fair chunk, and it makes it relatively cost effective.
No, it's worked out really well.
So how is this van? So you said it's 2007 Jayco Expander pop top.
Yep.
How have you found this hire? We're about halfway through your time with us. So you've had it for about a week. How have you found overall, generally, as it added to the experience?
It's added to the experience. As long as you can go off grid for a couple of days, and then if you go to a van park and recharge all your water and all that, and you've got dump points throughout Tasmania. I've never seen so many dump points for your toilet, which is even in major towns. You know, they've got a dump point marked, which is great. That's what you need so it's all comfortable for you while you're travelling. But the van has got plenty of cupboard space. We've got plenty of room to store our food, and we've got the extra fridge in the car as well. So when we go out, we can. Yeah, it's really working well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Was there anything that didn't work that well when you got the van? Obviously, hire van, so you can't check over everything.
There's been a couple of little things, but nothing major.
No.
But
the guy forgot the water hose.
The hose, yeah, we've got no hose. So luckily you guys had a spare hose. So things like that, just check before you take off with the van that everything is there. It was all a bit of a rush because we had to meet you guys at Cradle Mountain, so we had a 2.5 hour trip, and we'd had a big day before.
Well, you got in the night time.
Yeah. I'd driven all night from Sydney, so it was a big trip.
Yeah, driven all night, jumped on the boat for all day, slept when you got to Devonport, and then picked it up at like 6 or 7 in the morning.
7 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
So it was pretty rushed.
So just go through everything that's on the van and just ask questions. That's all I can say. But make sure all your towing gear is up to scratch before you leave home. Because once you get here, if you can't hook it up, if you've forgotten something, that's it. You can't take the van. Yeah.
Be good to probably. You guys asked a fair bit of questions of the people about what was included.
Yeah, before we hired it. Yeah, we emailed and
You found them pretty good to deal with?
Very good to deal with, yeah. They told us the towing capacity and the ball weight. Make sure the ball weight's not too heavy for your car. Your vehicle is the most important thing, to make sure that it's capable of towing your van. I wouldn't go above or right on the border limit of the car's ball weight and towing capacity. I would go down at least half a tonne just to be comfortable.
Yeah, so if you want to hire a van, there's plenty of sites, I believe, around. A big one's Camplify.
Camplify, that's right. Yep.
Is that where you guys got yours?
Camplify, yep.
Yeah, and you just go on and you search for, can you do search criteria or whatever?
Search, and see what's available. Camper trailers or camper vans and caravans, and just go from there. But
choose something that you think is suitable.
Yeah, we wanted to try this one because we're thinking about purchasing another van, and we just wanted to see what the combined ensuite was like.
How have you found a combined ensuite? Because it's not something that people want necessarily nowadays, right?
Yeah.
They want it all separate, everything big and grand, and this is quite a compact unit.
It's a lot better than I thought. I thought I'd be shamming the toilet down and all the rest of it, but the toilet paper's even in a little capsule, so that's sealed away. Nothing really gets wet. The floor's pretty good. It drains away pretty well. It's quite quite surprising.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah. Do you think...
Being a plumber, I'm very surprised.
Yeah. Do you think you would hire a van like this again if you were doing another like week or 2 week trip? Like, were you that happy that you'd be comfortable to do it, or you'd change a few things?
I would probably not have the expander van. I would probably have something that was complete and not popping roofs up and all that sort of thing, because you've got more moving parts, and especially if Tasmania, it might be raining 1 minute and sunny the next, like this.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you're going to cop down here.
There was a few times where you guys were almost packing up in the pelting rain or setting up in the pelting rain, and Jackie and I just put a levelling ramp under our tyre, rolled it up, come over to you guys and went, we're done.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's a lot more work. Yeah. But it takes 15 minutes to pack up, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for the chat. Hopefully that's kind of come out in some way that might be helpful for you guys. There's a few things, as we said, you just got to consider. But once you got those items ticked off, like you got a hitch, brake controller, tow mirrors, and you're speaking to the people that you are hiring about what's included, when you get here, the handover process was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it was about
easy.
45 minutes we took,
Okay. And then it was... After that, it's been pretty easy.
It's been
going.
pretty smooth, but ask questions when you get there. Make sure you go through everything with them.
Yeah.
Because you want to enjoy your holiday. You don't want to have it as a disaster.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well, we might leave that there. And as I said, hopefully you've got something out of it. If you liked this kind of a thing, let us know. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of it. And that's also where we're going to leave this episode. So if you'd like to see what we're getting up to next, please subscribe down below, hit that like button. And well, next week we're off to an island, but for us it's tomorrow. Where are we headed tomorrow?
Bruny Island.
There we go. So that's all coming up.
Looking forward to it.
It's coming up next time. Hopefully we get some nice weather down there.
More rain and sunshine. Beautiful.
Standard Tassie weather.
That's Tasmania.
All right, we look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks for watching. Have a good afternoon, and yeah, see you next time.